Welcome, Wimpie van Merwe, Global Choices Group CEO. Today I am chatting to Wimpie specifically about the Global Choices 20-year anniversary in March. It's great to have a chat with you, Wimpie. So shortly, Global Choices is a 24-hour system services, value-added solutions, digital claims and insurtech company. A company that lives by the motto of, we are in the business of adding to life. Wimpie, please start off by sharing with us the start of the business and your 20-year journey in a short few minutes.
Thank you very much, Rianet, and thank you for the opportunity. Yes, I'm very grateful to sit here today, 20 years later. You know, everything starts with a vision and a dream and an idea. This idea started 22 years ago to do with my previous late wife's business, travel and tourism, publication, and I didn't know anything about that industry. And I actually got involved with the business to help my in-laws out. That was, a very traumatic time period in their lives. So when I got involved, I applied very much my design thinking, conditioning as an architect. And I hired a company to do market research to understand the context of what I'm dealing with. What's publications about? What's the future of travel in South Africa all about? And that's 22 years ago. So a lot have happened over that 22 years in the travel and tourism industry as well as we know it. It was on the dot-com boom. So when they came back with research, they predicted that travel agents won't be able to earn commission or from car hire, airlines, or hotels. And I asked, how can you make money out of travel tourism if you can't earn commission or a fee like the traditional way? And I'm using the word traditional because we get caught up in our own traditional thinking and ways, even in the insurance industry. So I came up with the idea to say, if I get 100,000 people paying me R1 a month, and I can earn, and it costs me 60,000 rands a month to run a travel agency, and I give people access to wholesale discounts from travel and tourism products through a call center in the internet, I'm making 40,000 rands a month. So what I've done is I actually create a service around travel through different communication platforms. And it was on that dot-com boom and the bubble of the Internet of Things in the early 2000. And as we approach databases, as people ask us for movies, books, wine, CDs, and gym memberships, etc., and I became, a product provider to the medical aid industry to help competition against discovery and vitality. And as we evolved and developed that, that changed legislation. As we know, legislation changed quite regularly in the financial services industry. So we start focusing on the short-term insurance and the life insurance market. And that's where we start focusing on the 24-hour assistance services. And in those days, we used to outsource most of our services. So we became a facilitator of these products and services and bundle them together. But one thing I realized very early in the company's, my career as well, is that you need to control the whole customer journey. You can't outsource experiences. You need to be part of that customer journey and solution. And so we developed our own technology, our own digital platforms over time. So as you look at Global Choices, our focus is very much the insurance industries and finding solutions and finding various opportunities, gaps in the customer journey around risk events. And that's our main focus, and that's where we stand today. But it's still evolve every day. Now, our whole strive for Global Choices is to have when a customer phones in the emergency, is to start with a whole multiple functionalities, and that's where digital transformation and digital solutions are a key role around that customer journey, and have that single view of a customer as you continue this journey through the risk event.
Yeah, and I mean, today everything is about the customer, and it's how well you can serve your customer. So, Wimpie,
Yes.
being a real entrepreneur, and we all know that being an entrepreneur means highlights, some highlights, and a lot of lessons learned along the way. Don't you want to share some of your highlights and some of your lessons, maybe if we can call it the lowlights, with us along your journey? A few things that really stands out for you.
You know, uh, when you become an entrepreneur, you commit to a journey, and you know that journey is not going to be easy, but you actually commit to a vision or an idea, and that's where you need to have blind faith, and that idea or vision is going to become a reality for everybody to see. Um, what I've learned, you know, the highlights was when you put these solutions together, because actually what I do is I design solutions. That's typical my conditioning is focus on the constraints around the specific problem, and then find solutions around it, and then combine those solutions. So it's a collaboration of different aspects. And then also, again, that basic principle, put yourself in the shoes of the customer that's going to utilize and experience that service or touch point at that specific moment. Um, you know, the highlights was to sign up that first client. You know, you knock on quite a lot of doors, and especially my personality, I'm not a salesperson. I don't go out there and I can't do a great sales pitch. But I've learned early as, you know, people like to hear about solutions if you identify their solutions. So you have to go and do research about the industry. And so I'm actually become a jack of all trades, but master of none. Because I go and analyze how the industries work, and then find a specific solution, a problem, and then a specific solution. And that's actually how we've evolved over time. But it's always the highlight for me was that signing up that first client and then see how it rolls out. It's very much like the same experience when you get that piece of land and you design a building and you start seeing it coming out of the ground. So that's always a highlight for me, is when you see things working. Yes, sometimes it doesn't work on the first day. There are going to be mistakes. There are going to be challenges. But it's how you overcome those challenges and so on. So the other part is what I've learned a lot, and lessons is about resilience. If you believe on the end goal, and here's very much about global choices and our differentiators, we focus on the customer or the end user and work the way back of what he's going to experience, and then streamline it and refine that specific journey. And that's what we've been doing for 20 years as well, is refining those experiences.
You have competition in the market, and we all know that competition is a good thing. Keeps us on our toes, and it differentiates us. Your value proposition is unique. So tell us what makes your offering unique. Why global choices and not any of your competition?
I always got huge respect for competition, and I think it's always, as part of our journey around the sun, is to evolve the whole time. Because from the day you're born, you busy start dying. This is quite a contradiction or a paradox. So as you evolve the journey around the sun, you need to evolve yourself as well, and the focus. So I had this vision 22 years ago of creating my own company, and so and the one thing that we always added under our payoff line is adding to life. So if you have to have that value system that guides you. That's part of your vision. So our whole thing is to focus on the end user, and then and work the way back, and then find unique solutions around that customer journey. Roadside assistance and accident tows, all those things are the same, but it's how easy and convenient you can make it for that person that's now in a stressful situation, and then relieve him from that. So you become the placeholder for that specific person and then guiding through the process. And that's how we look at it. It's not just another touch point, another call center, another app, another web experience. It is all part of the same process. And and the unique focus is about that end user that's experienced it. And yes, we become the extension of the brand of all our clients. They don't even know that they're dealing with global choices. And that puts a huge pressure on you because you're working with someone else's brand and reputation. And it's always to keep up to that reputation or that brand, but always, surprise the customer. This, you don't expect, just don't do just enough, do a little bit more. Go that extra mile. And I think, we're never going to be the biggest. We are a medium-sized business in that space. We've got our competitors that, they can throw out numbers and huge turnovers, but we're not in a numbers game. We're a little bit more a niche market around it. And I think that's where also what will start happening more in insurance in the industry is the focus on specific niches will become more important as well, because you're good at that. And that's what we try to focus on. We can't be everything for everybody, but we'd like to be the hero of the end user.
That's great. Talking about unique opportunities, is there anything in the pipeline, anything exciting we can look forward to coming from Global Choices?
Yes, no, we never rest on it. So sometimes I look at existing products and services that's out there and how we can make it unique and different or change. And sometimes if you look at something in a 360 degree and different angles and dimensions, it's quite amazing where you find new opportunities. And sometimes just tweaking that little, through digital solutions or in the process, you can create quite a unique product. So yes, we're launching quite a lot of new products this year. And one of the highlights is going to be around, I believe, insurance brokers need to become risk facilitators. They need to provide solutions to their customers to help manage their own risk. I think there's a huge opportunity how we can help people to manage risk around their own house, their motor cars, their businesses, etc. And like the vitality and discovery, they reward you for good risk management. But if you create it as part of your product profile or products that you market and service to a customer, you make it part of that whole total journey of that risk, and you make it easier and create convenience, and you educate the clients. It's quite amazing how you can improve the risk around your own assets that's actually on a cover. It's not I think there's a misunderstanding that I've got cover, but what did I do? This it's insurance contract is actually a two-way thing. It's not just you're going to cover my liabilities or my my losses. I also have to prevent my losses from happening and take the necessary steps. Now, I think we lost that somewhere, and this is to help. And that's where I think insurance brokers can play a big role, is to give them tools to also help them manage their risk. And especially we're on this cusp of the 5G and technology, and everything is going to be connected. We're going to be connected. Our car's going to be connected. Our fridges is going to be connected. Our cell phones, our houses, our fire alarms, our the security alarms. Everything is getting connected. And as we evolve, there's huge opportunities around that. And but remember, technology will never replace empathy. We have to still evolve the technology around the people that's going to use it and pay for it as well. So I think that's one of our biggest things we're going to do, and a lot of reinvention of existing 24-hour assistance services products, just to I think it's not to raise the bar. You have to raise the bar every year. That's the challenge.
Yes, that is a very important part of entrepreneur's job. Is you never sit still for 1 second. So lastly, you touched on it quite a lot in your last comment. Wimpie, is your message to brokers specifically and to the rest of the industry? A positive word, anything from your side?
No, thank you. And I really appreciate these opportunities. And I'm not the one that communicates on regular basis to the industry. But, for me, the message is for the whole industry is to look beyond the normal traditional barriers of the insurance sector. It's critical for producing differentiated products and services. And it will become very important to start collaborating with different distribution channels, digital platforms in the future. And also, again, go back to the basics. Insurance is a product being developed for the individual or the companies, and focus on them. There's a lot of insights that sits with that end user or policy holder, and gaining from those insights, you can actually develop a little bit more unique and differentiating products for your clients, and never stop and always be curious, because things is going to evolve. Now, 2007, the smartphone came out, and look how it changed our industry. We're now in 2021, and we're working now in cycles of 5 years where things change very quickly. The next wave is now the 5G, and how quickly and connected we will be to our environment and access to knowledge and platforms. So for me, this is always ask questions and never stop being curious. I think that's one thing we lack sometimes in leaderships, is always ask the question, why is something like that? Why can't it be different?
I like that. Thank you, Wimpie. And once again, thank you to you and your team for 20 years. And yes, to another 20, 40, 60 years for Global Choices. Not necessarily with you in this year.
No. I know I've got about 10 years left. So for me, it's this. But as we also, in 20 years, you learned a lot. But now it's to do things a little bit quicker and faster and better. And that's where we focus very much on the technology solution side and so on. And it's also part of our whole package of solution creation. So I'm looking forward to the next 10 years and to have fun. We've been having fun for 20 years and enjoying what we do. And, and again, it's that payoff line of adding to life. What value that we create for our clients and their customers over time. And it's always nice to get that little feedback where people say, thank you, we never expected that. And that's the highlights you get, is those compliments that comes through, even if it's not us directly getting the compliments, but we've done it on behalf of our clients.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, and I appreciate it.
That's a pleasure. It was great chatting, and I hope we can do a follow-up chat at some point. But enjoy the rest of your 20-year celebrations. I hope you can have some formal celebration, at least at some point. But great to chat, and we'll catch up soon.
Thank you very much, Rianet.